bit about kind of the weeks leading up to, the lockdown and the pandemic and, what happened at your company?
Yeah, so I'm not sure who was prepared for COVID. We definitely weren't. We like to prepare and do a lot of worst case scenario planning in our organization to make sure that we're ready for whatever, could come at us. But regardless of how we planned, we never saw this coming. So we were coming off of a record year, a lot of growth. Our expansion had pretty much just wrapped up for opening districts, and they were starting to roll. And then out of nowhere, it comes, right? And it took us a while to really understand what it was and what the ramifications were, but we started to figure out early on that it wasn't good. So we started meeting as an organization, and this is kind of the basis of our culture, our innovative culture. What we got lucky is our people are good at adapting. So we struck a committee early, started getting as much information as we could, and started trying to adapt our business to, what was happening. And I'm not sure what it was like for other organizations, but the information was pretty limited when it first happened. Like, it's funny, it was only 4 months ago or so, and today it feels like, it almost hasn't happened.
So tell me about the decision to hit the road and why you thought that was important for your company.
Yeah, this again comes back to our culture. We are a business that likes to work together. It's part of the reason why we get a lot of the work that we get. And our concern was that COVID was showing a lot of signs of isolation and independence and uncertainty. So for starters, we were worried about our team, especially our field team. They had to just keep working, still had to build buildings and be on time and keep clients happy with all this uncertainty happening. So as leaders of the organization, we were getting, a little concerned on what this could do to our organization and the fabric of how we do business and how we collaborate. So we talked about it, and we're trying to figure out a methodology to get out there. And at the time, flying in hotels was, quite uncomfortable to think about. And some of that happened from a lack of, my ability to control my time, to lack of ability to, trust how everybody else was dealing with COVID. So we wanted to think outside the box and find a different solution. And it happened one weekend. Like, this was, we were getting pretty stressed and trying to figure this out. And I woke up in the morning and talked to my wife and said, I think I have an idea on how we're going to do this. And I told her we're going to buy an RV and I'm going to take them with me. And after she got over telling me how crazy I was, we started exploring and realized that this was actually a valid response to this. And what it would do is it would allow freedom for me to spend as much time as required with each team member and each team group, instead of being dictated by other schedules, as well as it, part of our DNA is to make the best of whatever situation we have and not to let them control us. So instead of being miserable and following the pack on ways that are uncomfortable and how to travel, what I want to do is find a way to have a good experience for myself and my family and for our team. And that's kind of what led up to it, and that's what we did. The intent was about our people, about our teams, and about what I could do for them when I was there. What messaging did they want to hear? What questions? Like, we went in and I was just fully transparent what was happening, what we were learning about COVID, what was happening to the economy, everything that we knew, we just honestly shared with everybody. And then we had open Q&A. It was like, you can ask anything and everything. There's nothing that you can't ask, and I will do my best to answer it. And we got, a lot of really brave questions that made me uncomfortable, which I loved. Those are the ones you enjoy the most. And the real intent was to make sure that if I visited a site, the morale was higher than when I got there, and that the team had a much better understanding of what the organization was doing around COVID prior to me being there. And our organization does share information quite frequently and through a number of mediums, but it's much different when they have me there and they can ask, personal questions. I do visit districts frequently prior to COVID, but actually be able to sit down and go through questions and get more personal, learn more about, as many people as I could reach, as many people as I could talk to. I don't know what to say, found it amazing, found it quite heartwarming to find that everybody was just understanding of the situation, appreciative of, what everybody was doing to keep each other safe.
Yeah, so it sounds like it started off as a big challenge and it turned into kind of an opportunity that you maybe didn't expect.
Yeah, I think that is really well said. I I didn't know what I was getting myself into. Our marketing department, led by Nicole, I told her I was just going to take my camera or my phone and just do a couple quick videos and put it online. And she's, explained to me how wrong I was, and she was right. And said we should take advantage of this, and we'll give you a proper camera, and then we'll get it properly edited. And I was very uncomfortable. Like, I started in the field, and that's not a place where we're real comfortable talking in front of media of any
And now
kind.
you're a vlogger.